I ain't done a live in a little while, and I figured that this was probably the best opportunity for me to do a live, since sometimes when I do videos, I like to get quite a bit off my chest, and with that, I'm going to just do a few things. So just bear with me a moment as I get this together. Let me. All right. So to basically go on this video, this is going to be a live, but it's really me making this video as I probably would have done this as an upload. But I figured that with a live, at least people can at least watch this back, comment, etc., just like any upload I post. So I'll be really honest with you. I think that, and now bearing in mind, I do have X, I do have a Twitter account, and I post my thoughts on there quite a lot sometimes, but I also appreciate that not everybody does follow me on Twitter. I do have the same X Twitter account as my YouTube handle, but I'll be really honest. I think that my love and my passion for the WWE in 2026, but it's even going back to 2025. I think that the my passion in it has absolutely gone, and I feel like the reason for that, there's things that for me, I just don't think this product is what it was once. I don't think it's what I was once a fan of. I've been to 6 WrestleManias. I've been very lucky to do those 6 WrestleManias. And, they all had different moments and different things that I was a part of. And that's fantastic. House shows, I've been to many of them over the years. I've been to live events, TV tapings, as well as some other PLEs like Survivor Series, Money in the Bank, Bash in Berlin. So my passion has been there. I've spent my money on the WWE product over the years, and I've absolutely worn the t-shirt in many different variations, sizes, and styles from Euroshop, WWE Shop, etc. But when it all comes down to it, when I look at the current WWE product for right now, I'm really not into it. I'm not into any of it. I'm not into the roster. I'm not into the way the shows are put together. I don't like how the product is so overexposed in this current era. I hate how we can we can peer behind the curtain. It seems at every single moment now. Everything is documented for Netflix. They have that Unreal show, which I actually watched a few of the season 2 episodes and just thought, damn, this just the whole thing now. It's like they just don't know what they're doing. And also, where I feel that the WWE now, as of right now, I don't think they really have an idea of what the creative is now. I feel like almost everything they do is just to please the sponsors, it's to please Netflix, and it's to please all the placeholders and people that will give them money. And that's all it is. They're a money orientated machine now more than ever. And that is a depressing fact, but unfortunately, it has gone to a state with WWE where I just cannot honestly stomach watching it much anymore. I don't really watch it at all. I may check out the odd highlight here on YouTube if something comes up in my feed. I may watch a clip or a short, but if I'm going to be brutally honest with you, I think that current day WWE sucks. And I mean that. I think current WWE is horrible. John Cena's gone. AJ Styles looks to be going next. Other guys have gone. And the problem that I have with the product now, all these great talents like John Cena going, Brock Lesnar going, there are talent that are leaving the company. And guess what? They have got no one, and I mean no one, to replace these people. They have got no one. They have no idea what they're doing. They get guys from high school and they recruit them like it's the NFL because they think that they can at least get these talent in on these programs and try and make them into WWE superstars. But let me tell you this. This is not the 90s no more. This is not the noughties. What we are in is an era where placeholders, commercialization, and brand exhaustion is what surrounds WWE in this current climate. The John Cena retirement tour was a complete dud. There was a couple of matches that did hold a candle at least, but for the most part, the product has been stale. Now, people can say to me, well, Ollie, you're a broken record. All you do is moan and groan about ticket prices, and you're just bitter that the prices are not what they are. Listen, ticket prices are one thing. I appreciate that. And don't get me wrong, I could make another video and talk about ticket prices. But here's the thing, it's not just the ticket prices. Yeah, the ticket prices do suck, and they outprice working class people to want to attend these shows. But the problem I've got is, now bear this in mind, I went to WrestleMania 38, 39, 40, and 41. I went to 4 WrestleManias on the trot. I committed most of my disposable income to those trips. And in those trips and during those years, I was doing other trips. I was doing side quests. I went to Money in the Bank in London. I went to Bash in Berlin. I went to Boston's first ever Survivor Series War Games. I've done those shows. I know the product can be good, and it did have a great period through 2022 and 2023 and even 2024. But the point of this, what I'm getting at now is the fact is that for now, I just think that where they are with what they're doing is that TKO has completely reset the climate. They've reset what this product once was, and they are more than willing to focus on moving this product in a different direction, where this product is solely just going on nostalgia. I mean, look at the video games, for example. 2K26 coming out. They're having to rely on the Attitude Era to sell it, because they know that the Attitude Era was a great moment in WWE and WWF, and they are now in a position where they want to, their focus now is, we sell these video games, we churn them out each year. It's the same game with a couple of remodded moments and remodded modes, but for the most part, all they're doing is relying on nostalgia to push the video game forward. That pleases 2K and that pleases WWE, because they're going to get a big payout for that, and that's one of those. But in terms of like just the general insight, I know people that are going to WrestleMania, and I will always say WrestleMania is still something that you should do. If you've never been, just for the name, for the brand, 2-night show, I'm sure they'll bring it. Those matches will be solid. But what I just feel like everything else beyond WrestleMania is it just sucks. It sucks in a nutshell. And I just don't think that the WWE, and it goes back to what I said about the Unreal Netflix specials, all those Netflix seasons that they put out. I think that they have overexposed themselves. They've overexposed the weaknesses of what they're doing. They've overexposed the fact they really don't have any idea of what they're doing, and they rely on, as I say, they rely on these talents, to these nostalgia acts, to put the shows forward. Now, if Chris Jericho comes back again, that will be something where, okay, as Jericho's back again, it's going to be the nostalgia. It's going to be the greatest hits. My point is this: I feel that it's definitely a sad time. It's a depressing era to be a WWE fan in 2026. You are paying more for less in a lot of ways as well. Let me go back to that. So, talking about high prices, it's not just, my problem isn't just with high prices, right? High prices is one thing because they just seem to think that every quarter TKO can keep surging up the prices of every kind of ticket that an arena can have to get people through the door. Now, again, what I think it really comes down to is a lot of fans have been demoted. Fans have been almost formatted to a point where some fans just don't care. They'll pay whatever to go through the door. And that's fine. If that's what you want to do, if you think the product is worth that kind of money and you want to pay that kind of money to go, fine. But if you look at match cards, right? So if you look at a match card from 2002, right? I'm just a example. Something came up on my YouTube feed. You go to a match card from 2002. And you see SummerSlam 02 from Long Island, New York. You had matches on there. You had The Rock versus Brock Lesnar. You had Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle. You had Shawn Michaels and Triple H in an unsanctioned match. The card was stacked. It was stacked top to bottom. But now where we are. I think that what they do is what WWE and TKO really work on is they look at the talent that are on the roster. They look at a couple of names. They look at Cody. They look at Roman. They look at Punk, and they go, okay, well, we can get Roman in as a spectacle. He doesn't need to be on all these shows anymore. Now, if Roman Reigns was working in the noughties, if Roman Reigns was a star in the 90s, he'd be working every house show. He'd be working every live event. He'd be on every TV show, and that would be the truth. But the point is this, in this current era of WWE, they don't want to overexpose anything when it comes to certain talent. They want certain talent to be on certain big shows. Look at Brock Lesnar. We haven't seen Brock Lesnar since Survivor Series War Games. And that, in my eyes, is just like, you can see through that. And I just think that it's just become a lot less fun to watch it. It's become less fun. And for the most part, what they're doing is it's a complete reset. It's a reset of the fans, and I think that's cool. And that's another thing, right? So I actually believe that what the WWE wants now is and I will answer some questions if anybody is in the comments. Just hear me out. I just want to get these last few things. I will absolutely get into those comments because I can see a couple of you putting comments in on the live. I just want to mention this now. I feel like the long-term plan for WWE and TKO was, with all these different things like price hikes and the way they put the shows together and the smaller match cards and all that stuff, it's almost as though what they're trying to do is they're trying to appeal to new fans. They want to appeal to the new customer. They want to appeal to people who don't know any better. You know, and I think that is what WWE and TKO's goal is in the long run. They want to reset the fan base. They want to reset. They want to reset it by turning away from people that have watched the product for the last 25 years. They want to go away from those people. They want to focus on the people of the now, the people that are spending the money of the now. I know it's always been that way, but the point is this: if you're going to go back and you're going to look at wrestling fans of the last 25 years, you know there's fans that were never ever going to spend shit tons of money to sit in the ringside seats, not at the prices they are now. And the fact is that the match cards are 4 matches a show, 5 matches, because they just feel like they don't want to overkill it. But if they can get fans in that are just the Netflix fan, oh, I started watching it when it was on Netflix. Okay, great. You found your fan. You found new fans. This is just one of those things. What's up? But anyway, as I say, it's sad. It's a sad truth. I look at it now, and with the idea that AJ Styles is looking like he's going to be going as well, I just think that they've really not got much going on, and it's just really bad. The product is just tiresome. It's a tiresome, boring product, which seems to still have a very popular fan base, and I think that's great. In terms of there being enough people that can still watch it, you know, they must be doing something right to the WWE audience if there are still people out there that still think the product's great, still go to the shows, still want to do WrestleMania. That's fantastic. But it just doesn't feel like it's the product for me anymore. And that's just unfortunately how it's gone. You know, I could still watch professional wrestling. I still love wrestling. And if I see a good match, I'll definitely tune in. But to commit to WWE and be a WWE faithful is just not in my my agenda anymore. I think that the product has just completely reset itself with TKO, with the prices, with what they try and put out on the shows, how they build the shows, how they expose the product, and how they put the show out there to so many people. Nothing feels real. Nothing feels, not even about real, but nothing feels authentic anymore. That's another thing I just want to mention. If they throw out a moment, they just want to put moments out there for a viral moment. They just want something to be for a few likes and a few hits on their YouTube or their Instagram or their TikTok. That's all it becomes. They are trying to appeal to a far bigger reach of people, but at the same time, I think they've completely cut off the old school fan. They've cut off what people once enjoyed about WWE. That's gone, you know, and that's the sad reality of it. Now, let me get to the comments before I come off this live. I know I've been on here nearly 14 minutes, just now into 14, so let's just have a quick look at some of these comments. I got somebody who said this, so I've got a little bit of agreement going on there. I got a question. Who have you got for winning the men's and women's Royal Rumble? Well, I'll be really, really honest with you, Lane Moore. I have not really been watching the product. I tune in and out of it. if it was for storyline purposes, I would say if they're going to really throw something out there just for WrestleMania purposes, I think that you're probably looking at Tiffany Stratton, probably for the women's side of things. And for the men's side, I mean, maybe Cody, I guess, if they're going to do something like that. I think Cody would probably be the sort of name they want to go for. So yeah, those would be the names I'd be throwing out there. We've got one here from Left Hook Lawrence. What's up, bro? We grown ass men, we don't watch no damn TNA. I mean, TNA, I mean, that's another thing. So I resubscribed to the TNA Plus. I thought I'd try them out, see what the AMC debut was all about. And yeah, TNA sucks. I'm not even going to start on TNA. I really wanted to like TNA. I think TNA did have some great stuff before, and they definitely had some great stuff before this AMC era, but damn, TNA, man, well, I don't know what the hell's going on with that. They need some big names over there to make that show more interesting, because right now I just don't know what's going on. Right, WWE all the way. But for the most part, as I say, I'm still a wrestling fan. I'll still make videos, you know, I'm not leaving YouTube. It's more about me just coming on and how I feel right now. I think that you know, there can always be a time where WWE can absolutely kick ass, and they did that. They did that for a good few years, and that's why my passion was collected over a period of 4 years. You know, I was going to 4 WrestleManias straight on the trot, and before anybody says to me, "Well, it's only because you're not going back to WrestleMania that you feel this way," it's absolutely not. The fact of the matter is this: I would probably feel more annoyed that I was not going to WrestleMania if the product was good. The point is this: I've got no regrets that I'm not doing WrestleMania this year. In fact, I feel quite relieved that I don't have to spend all that money to go and see that stuff, because the shows have been so mediocre for the last 11 months. I feel like WWE and Triple H's booking has been very much an autopilot style, where they really have no idea what they're doing, and all they do is go on what they think can work, but then completely pivot it and go to something else. And there's no real long-term idea of what the product is supposed to be, long-term build with characters. I mean, you know, I'll always give a shout out to a good match, though. You know, one thing I did check out the other week, I did see the Finn Balor Punk match from the Raw. I did think that was pretty good. You know, that was a good little match they had. But I just think for the long haul and for the long run, I just do think that this era of WWE, maybe it's just not for me. Maybe it's just not for me. Maybe it's for a different person. It's for a different fan. It's for a new fan. It's for somebody that doesn't know any better. You know, it's for somebody who's happy to pay big money to go and see this type of thing. And, you know, WWE know that. They can get those people through the door that don't know any better. That you know, once upon a time, you could have gone to like a show and pay a lot less money and got a lot more matches. You probably would have got an 8-9 match card, very stacked shows. In a lot of ways, it's kind of funny. I almost wish that the age I am now, I wish I was this age in, let's say, 2002, 2001. I probably would have absolutely embraced the WWF product back then in a much bigger way. Obviously, being a kid at those ages, wrestling would have just been on the TV for me, and watching WWF pay-per-views was just on the TV. You know, I wasn't actually getting the disposable income because I wasn't working, and I was a kid, so I wasn't even legal age to work. But to go to shows back in those days, where I'm sure would have been a hell of a lot more fun than now, where everything is so inflated in price and the quality of it is just doesn't seem worth it. Lane Moore, I got a ticket to Raw pretty high above and cost me $250. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, you know, for these kind of shows, and that's the thing I want to mention as well with high prices, you know, we're going to get on with it. I mean, people seem to complain and say, well, Ollie, all you do is you're a broken record. It's all you fucking talk about is price hikes. Listen, price hikes suck. If you don't think a price hike is a bad thing, I just don't know what to make of you. The point of the matter is this: the product is not worth these price hikes right now. You know, 2023, 2024, they went through some of their best stuff. The whole Cody arc, from him finishing the story just after WrestleMania that went through to WrestleMania 40, I think that was some of the best stuff that WWE were able to really rely on and really build shows around. And I think that whole Cody Rhodes redemption really did keep them safe for a few years. We just haven't had a really good long-term storyline after that's really been able to hold a candle to what they were doing once Triple H started to kind of take over and get involved with the product. I mean, Triple H really hasn't had his moment. I think people can sort of say, well, Triple H had a lot of goodwill going into it from his days in NXT and booking the product over there. But I do think that now Hunter really has just gone in a different direction to what he was once known for, and he's let a lot of great talents leave the roster. A lot of people have gone, and TKO just comes off very greedy. And talking about like things like WWE World, I mean that's another thing. You know, everyone goes on about that. Says, "Oh, WWE World." Listen, WWE World's another very good example of current WWE in a nutshell. And I'm certainly not talking about the actual fan like meeting wrestlers. I'm talking about the way that shit's put together. The fact is that's a very expensive experience. You're going to be paying a lot of money to go into that convention hall to meet talent, to pay to meet talent. They're not giving you anything for free with your admission. All that becomes is just like a paywall. Everything's paywall, paywall, paywall. And that again, it's just a burnout. When, you know, I hear the era of when people call it the ruthless depression era. Yeah, you could call it that. It absolutely is. There's nothing really fun to talk about with WWE these days, because all that I ever see with WWE is an oversaturated, overexposed, boring product with very expensive prices, and the prices are insulting to what they are putting out there. It's that true. It's that truthful. The product to this period is just not what it once was. You go back a few years, you go to 2001, 2002, 2003. The product was stronger back then. Also, the new WWE Unreal thing on Netflix really ruined the drama of things of storylines. Absolutely. I think that I think it's just that's really saturated it. It sort of makes you realize that what are they doing now that's going to be on the next season of Unreal? Because everything now they're doing, it's like they're playing up to that Unreal. You know, Unreal's being taped in some form. They're doing it through the calendar year, and there's almost like a element of, well, we need to make a new season of Unreal. Well, let's see what moments we can start to manipulate and put together for the next series. And that's kind of what it comes down to. But as I say, folks, I think that's about it from me. I'm going to finish up this live video, and just an opportunity to just come on here and really just discuss where my head's at with the WWE product. You know, this YouTube channel will always be a wrestling channel. You know, when I do trips, when I do vlogs, I'm going to be going out to London in March for the first weekend of March. Actually, it's going to be Pro Wrestling Eve's Queendom show. That show is looking absolutely stacked. Dakota Kai from ex-WWE will be on that show. Chris Statlander. They've also got Willow Nightingale, Harley Cameron. I'm going to be going over to that show. It's in London. I may even vlog it. I think that a vlog would be fun for that. But you know, and that's what I want this channel to be. I just want it to be a channel where we still do those fun interactions, those fun fan experiences, because that's still wrestling, you know. Wrestling is wrestling, and when it's fun, it's great, but when it sucks, it's shit. That's just how it goes. But thanks ever so much for everybody who did tune in. And if you are a late tuner in and you're watching this back on playback, again, many thanks. If you do want to comment, let me know what your thoughts are. Maybe I'm talking trash. Maybe you guys think, hey, Ollie, you don't know what you're talking about. And maybe I am just the broken record who doesn't know any better. You know, I'm just a fan that's been around. I've loved wrestling for over 25 years, and I just don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I should be looking at this current WWE, and it's probably better than the Attitude Era. I'm sure that's what some of y'all want me to say, but I'm not going to say that. I'm going to stick to what I know, and I just think right now this product sucks. Anyway, I'm out, everybody. Thanks again. As I say, if you're brand new here on the channel, don't forget to comment, subscribe, and like. And I'll hit you all up in the next one, guys. Take care, everybody.